everybody. This is Coach Dawn, Read Ready Life coaching, author, speaker, certified mindfulness trainer. I am so excited to be with you for another episode of Real Talk for Coaches. And, you know, this topic, while I'm going to bring up the COVID-19 virus and pandemic, the information that I'm going to discuss in this particular episode is applicable to clients who are under stress and other conditions, whether it's looking for a new job, whether it's trying to understand what they want to do after they graduate college, or what they want to do after they retire, or getting a divorce, not getting a divorce, getting married, having a baby, whatever it is, any type of situation that your client might experience stress or anxiety over, this information that I'm going to discuss today does apply. So I just want you guys to kind of keep that in mind. Um, so I thought it would be important to really talk to coaches about how are we helping our clients through stress, through anxiety. And what triggered me definitely without a doubt is this pandemic. And like I had at least two clients schedule me for um like an emergency coaching session. Like, my clients have their coaching sessions scheduled in advance, and I had two who wanted to meet a lot earlier because they were feeling some anxiety and some stress and some anxiousness about the pandemic. I had about three clients set up an additional guided meditation session with me because they wanted to manage their stress and the anxiety that they're feeling. And I've had quite a few friends, family members, clients, colleagues ask me, you know, aren't you nervous, or are you taking this situation seriously, or do you think it's as serious as, it's being portrayed um, in the media? And so I said, okay, since there's a lot of buzz, and I'm just saying for me, maybe other coaches aren't experiencing this, and that's okay. But I know that I've seen an uptick in how do I deal with what I'm feeling? How do I deal with this anxiousness? How do I deal with um, staying calm during this pandemic? And, a lot of people are afraid for their children. A lot of people are afraid for their jobs. Some people can't, work from home, even though that's the suggested advice is to, stay home, limit physical contact and things like that. And so I said, you know what? This is fitting. This is going to be a fitting topic for us coaches because we are in a position to help our clients. We are in a position to speak to the angst and frustration and fears that people in general are going through right now. Um, you know, and so I said, you know what? I'm going to use this episode to kind of say, okay, coaches, these are some of the things that we can do, that we can look for, that we can be mindful of when working with our clients, um, and helping them manage their feelings and helping them develop resilience and helping them stay in reality and really be objective in how they're approaching the stress and anxiety and angst and fears that they're experiencing in light of this pandemic. All right, so I'm gonna get started. I gave you guys a pretty good synopsis, I think, I hope. And so we're going to talk about it. If you want to join the video, If you want to join the conversation live, you can definitely post your questions, your thoughts, your comments in the chat box here on my Spreaker Studio podcast. So you could definitely, as you listen live, you can post questions and you can chat. And, I will do my best to monitor the chat box and answer some questions for those who have it. If you like to use or sign in and see my face in the video, or if you like to ask questions, or if you would like to be part of the conversation, maybe you want to speak and be heard and share your thoughts and your opinions, call in. The number that you can call today, 440 549 4093, and the PIN number is 320 927 637 pound sign or hashtag. All right. So again, 440 549 4093. Use the PIN number 320 927 637 hashtag or pound sign. And you can actually call in live and have a conversation, share your thoughts, ask your questions, and yeah, and let's really dig in and dive in to address this as coaches. If you are not a coach and maybe you are a coachee, or maybe you're considering hiring a coach, I hope that the information that I provide in this episode is going to help you with what you might need to look for when you are searching for a coach, or, if you're considering a coach to help you through getting, um, more centered, more focused, more calm about the things that are stressing you out, or the things that you are afraid of, or the angst that you might be feeling, not just with the pandemic, because again, the information that I'm going to share, transcends that, but also dealing with any other life situations and conditions. So as I said, as I said in the opening, you know, the videos, man, like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I had to step back personally, and go, okay, one, there's a lot of information coming to me at once, right? Almost every news channel. When you get on social media, there's tons of videos, tons of memes, tons of posts in your news feed. And this is the COVID virus, corona. It's like just on top of it. And it's all this information. You got information where people aren't taking it serious, and information where people are going overboard. And I was laughing with my husband because I'm like, it reminds me of The Walking Dead, and that's one of our favorite TV shows. We love The Walking Dead. And it reminds me a lot of it, where people's behavior change in the face of adversity, or in the face of stress, or really dire conditions or situations. And we forget how to behave. We forget our humanity. We forget how to be compassionate. Seeing the videos of people fighting over toilet paper, like toilet paper, it astonished me. Like I was really astonished, and I was like, this is something out of Walking Dead. I swear to God. You would think we're in the middle of an apocalypse. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not taking the situation lightly in any shape, form, or fashion. It is definitely a serious situation. It can induce stress, but the key is that we have to manage it. And so, yeah. So, like I said, I had a couple of clients, with emergency meeting sessions, and I had a couple of extra sessions for additional guided meditation. And like I said, I had a lot of questions and people wanting my feedback. And so, what can we do as coaches? I think, from my perspective, um, it's important for us to remain calm. And I think, as a coach, you have to ask yourself before you take on a session, how am I feeling about the topic? So, again, I'm going to focus predominantly on the COVID-19 virus and pandemic, right? But please keep in mind that the information can definitely apply to other stressful situations that your clients might bring to you. Um, so just to give you an example, like many people, I've been laid off of a position before, when I was working as an employee many, 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 many moons ago, and that's a stressful situation. And I can remember how I felt when it happened, for the first time to get laid off from a position and going, oh my God, I got babies, I got little kids, I got a mortgage. It's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And knowing that feeling and that sense of urgency that happens when a stressful situation is in, is touching your life, right? And so even with the pandemic, I had to ask myself, one, how am I feeling about all of it? What am I concerned about if I am concerned? And so, one of the first things that I would recommend for coaches is to assess yourself, self reflect, you know, meditate on what are you feeling right now in the moment before you even take your next session or address the anxiety or concerns of your client. Because if you're panicked, what will happen is that your clients will also become panicked. And you will feed into their energy, and they will feed into your energy, and that will really diminish the coaching process. And how can your clients have confidence, move forward, build resilience, and feel secure if you, as their coach, don't feel that way? Does that make sense? I hope it makes a lot of sense, everybody. I really do. So the first thing I definitely would say is that as a coach, you have to get your own bearings together and figure out what it is that you feel. And when people have asked me, including clients, friends, colleagues, you know, are you afraid? And I'm like, no, no. And then I've had the question, do you think it's a hoax? I'm like, no, I definitely don't think it's a hoax. I think it's a very serious situation, this pandemic. But I don't feel that I can be a benefit to my neighbors, to myself, to my clients, to my community, to my friends, to my family if I'm in a panic. If I begin to become fearful and go run out trying to buy up the store for fear of lack. Having a lack mindset, this is what we call it in the coaching industry, as you guys know. Um, how can you benefit your clients if you have a mindset of lack? That doesn't mean that we shouldn't prepare. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't um, be cautious, but it doesn't mean that we are in the midst of an apocalypse or that I'm now in survival mode where I'm hoarding food, I'm hoarding paper towels and toilet paper or medicine, or taking so much that I don't leave other people with anything. I don't see anywhere in this current situation where we have to have that mindset right now. That it's a, mere you type of mindset. It's not there. I hope that makes sense. So it's not that I'm not serious about it, I'm not afraid of it because what I know is that fear kills thinking, cognitive thinking, objective thinking. And so the first thing, coaches, you must determine where you are in this whole situation, or any situation that your client is feeling some high, intense stress or anxiety or fear. How do you feel? And are you in a position to coach them through what they're experiencing? Once you can assess you, then you open up and you can create a foundation and hold space for your client to process what they're feeling, what they're thinking and what they would like their next steps to be in order to get a realistic handle on their feelings, their emotions, their mood, and their behavior. Then um, I believe you can think about what can you do in a coaching session. And a lot of it depends on what your client's agenda is. So please keep that in mind. The underlying um, trigger or agenda is what's really key as you move forward. So let's say your client comes to you with fear. I'm really afraid about this pandemic. I don't know what to believe. I got so much information bombarding me, every minute. All I'm hearing about is, it's a pandemic, a pandemic, a pandemic. There's nothing in the stores, and I'm scared to get it. And should I go outside? Should I not go outside? Should I go to work? Should I not go to work? I'm not going to get money if I don't go to work. Like, I literally have had a client really approach their session with that on their agenda. And it's like, I want to figure out what I want to do and how do I stay calm through this whole scenario. And so before really getting into that, I want to remind coaches that, it is very, very important to understand human behavior under stress. That's why I highly suggest that, this is just my personal belief. It's very subjective, it's very biased, what I'm about to say. But I do believe that there should be some discussion or information about human behavior and general psychology in some of the course coach training that we do. Um, I know that in my coach training program that I have, I do talk about human behavior. I talk about some introductory psychology theories and information because at the end of the day, you are dealing with humans and you're dealing with behavior and you're trying to help them change their thinking and their belief system in order to move forward. And having an understanding of psychology can really help. So I would like to add to one of the things that coaches can do is just be familiar with how people respond in times of stress and fear and how fear impacts decision making, impact goal setting, impact self efficacy, um, and how people choose to move forward. Okay. So just keep that in mind, coaches. You're dealing with people, and people come with influencers and triggers that and learn behavior that impact their decision making and how they approach their goals and how they come to the coaching session. And so when your client comes to you, or if a client comes to you with those feelings and that angst and that frustration, you know, the importance for us is definitely to give them space to talk about it. And I know that many training courses, and I know the ICF, the International Coaching Federation, is really adamant about we don't want to stay stuck in the story. When we're coaching our clients, we don't want them to spend 30 minutes with being stuck on what happened, why it happened, who did what, and why I feel this way. And I get that. But I think when you have a situation where your client is feeling a lot of fear and anxiety and stress, I think it is important to help them process it. And they're going to need space to discuss what they're feeling, what their experience is, because that's going to lead them on the path of understanding what they want to do about what they feel. That's going to get them to start thinking objectively once they can get all that angst out their system. Okay, now that I've talked about it, now I'm open to receive information on how I can move forward. So hold space for your client to say, this is what I'm feeling. These are my questions, you know, and then it will be important for us as coaches to go, okay, let's challenge some of these beliefs. Let's challenge some of these feelings that you're having. We want to absolutely make sure we validate our clients, like, it is understandable that you feel this way. This is some scary shit. You know what I mean? And it's okay to validate that they're having this experience, right? But next, we have to be strong enough to challenge our clients when maybe they are overthinking. Maybe they're overthinking, or maybe um, what what's going on maybe outside the realm of reality, and it's more steepled or steeped in their mind. So challenge your client. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say your client comes to you and say, we're going to run out of everything. What happens if we run out of everything in 2 weeks? What are we going to do? What if we don't get back on track? What are we going to do? Like, and it's like, okay, well, what can you do? Like, what makes you think in 2 weeks you're going to run out of every morsel of food that's in your cupboard? Or what makes you think that things aren't going to get better? What situations have you experienced dealing with this type of stress or this type of condition that tells you or speaks to you in a way that says, yeah, this is the end, or everything is going to go to hell and we're doomed? And by asking these types of questions and these types of challenging beliefs, challenging thinking, challenging perceptions, we will allow our clients to evaluate, okay, why what's going on? What really will happen? Will I really die? And I know some people probably say, well, people are dying. I might die, my kids might die, and it's like, okay, so who are the people that are dying from this pandemic? And they'll start to think about it and go, oh, well, people over 60 with compromised immune systems. Okay. Who in your family, who in your household has a compromised system? Who in your family is over 60? And start to ask those questions. Okay, what precautions have you taken to keep yourself, your family safe if they do have a compromised immune system, or if they are elderly? And we start to break down those thoughts and those feelings and start to look at, okay, what are the solutions to these problems, or this perception of a problem that your client has? And again, this type of questioning is important even if the client lost their job. you know Asking them the hard question, okay, so you lost your job and you have a mortgage and you don't have enough saved. Okay, what are the things that you could do right now to be proactive? And asking those questions will help your client see that they have options and that there are things that they can do, because part of human behavior is that when there is a problem or when there is stress, there is this, I need to do something. A lot of people, many people, it's very common for people to say, I need to do something, even if it's not going to really help, but just doing something helps. Just like a lot of people will say, well, pray about it. A lot of religious people say, pray about it. And I know a lot of people believe that prayer works. I am a person who believes that prayer works. I love prayer. I believe in prayer. But what prayer really does is calm you down. It may not necessarily stop the virus or stop the job loss or stop a sickness or stop something going on, but it does help you get centered. And when all else fails, when you feel like there is nothing else you can do, prayer gives you a behavioral response that has a psychological comfort. And so I say that to say it's really about helping your clients understand the things that they can do in the interim. Um, I love to implement mindfulness types of activities, and I like to kind of put a cognitive behavioral coaching approach to a stressful or fearful situation. Another thing that I like to do is, although it may not be a trauma based situation, because again, we don't necessarily deal in trauma or counseling or therapy, but a trauma based questioning approach is very beneficial when your clients are feeling fearful. Um, and with because in trauma, people are experiencing high angst, high fear, high confusion, high dissonance, I'm sorry. And so when you use a trauma-based approach, even if the situation is not traumatic per se, it does help the client with gaining perspective. And some of the key things is not judging. And we know in coaching already, you're not supposed to judge your clients anyway, but not judging how your clients feel, validating their right to feel how they feel, um, not asking questions like, well, what did you do wrong? Or even, what could you do better? Because even when you say, well, what could you do better? You're insinuating that they're doing something that's not good, right? So it's all about the language that you use so that your client does not feel like a victim, but your client feels empowered. And that is key where we come in. We are tasked with helping our clients feel empowered. And those are the kinds of questions. And that is the approach that you want to take when your clients are coming to you in that type of state, right? You also have to assess, is this a deeper issue? Should my client see a therapist or a counselor? Will they benefit from coaching while under this type of extreme fear or stress or pressure? And we have to be very careful that we don't cross the line into therapy if we are not licensed therapists. Now, those of you coaches who are licensed therapists, you got actually the best of both worlds because you can take off your coaching hat and you can actually utilize more therapeutic approaches and diagnosing um, to help your client in those situations. But for coaches who are not therapists or not clinicians, we have to be very careful that we don't cross the line for ethical and legal reasons of therapy. We must stay in the coaching area. We can take off our coaching hat and we can give support, we can give encouragement, um, we can consult if we take off our coaching hat in order to help our clients. Um, I want to say we could give advice, but I use it loosely. I think I'll substitute advice for guidance if we feel that's more beneficial to our client than coaching in that moment, and that's okay. But just make sure that you have the skill set, the temperament, and the ability to move in those areas, those helping areas, if coaching isn't beneficial in that moment. So please keep that in mind, coaches. And so again, I like to use mindfulness techniques. I do vision techniques. I might have my clients like breathe, take a couple of minutes just to breathe deeply. Focus on your breath. I might have them visualize what's the scenario that you would like to play out, or visualize abundance. Visualize X, Y, and Z, in your home, or visualize that new job, or visualize safety. What does safety look like? And feel it and smell it and breathe it and taste it. And like, I really try to help my clients tap into their senses, their emotions, their feelings, their thinking, their cognition, their visualization, to help them stay calm, get centered, and to get an anchor. If you can help your clients have a audio anchor, a visual anchor, a tactile anchor, some type of sensory anchor that they can come back to if they're feeling anxious, that will be a huge benefit. So I love doing either visualization or breathing, because I will always say, okay, so when you're feeling this anxiousness and it's hard for you to think, remember the visualization exercise that we did. Remember whatever the anchor or visual component was that you put in your mindset to help calm you down, to remember the feelings that you felt, or come back to your breath. Like, I love the breath because we breathe all the time, and this is really good for people who are not necessarily visual. By saying focus on your breath, you're focusing on something that's in real time, and you're getting the mind to be aware more of the present and what's going on, like your breath, versus, oh my God, I'm going to run out of toilet paper. Right? So, very important. So before I go on, I do want to kind of do a quick interjection. I don't have a sponsor this week, but that's okay. If you are interested in being a sponsor, please feel free to email me, text me, go to my website, readready.com, click on the reach out tab, and contact us. Coaching at readreadycoaching.com. Contact me, contact my office, and let me know that you are interested in being a sponsor, and I will send you the sponsorship kit. Also, please remember we have our March Madness deals right now. So if you are interested in getting 4 coaching sessions for the month of March, uh, it is only, I repeat, it is only 279, $279. It is a value way more than that. 600 plus for 4 sessions. So you, my darlings, are getting coaching sessions, 4 coaching sessions for 279 for March Madness. So get on it before March 31st so that you can take advantage of our March Madness deal of the month. And for our meditation sessions, the deal is $189 for 4 sessions. And so you also get a guided audio tape that's personalized for anything that you're looking to create a visual calmness about, or something that you're trying to get over and you want to use guided meditation to help you become unstuck, whether it's losing weight, whether it's finding a job, whether it's finding love. I will create an audio file for you that you can use anytime you like. So that's part of your fee for that one low price. So if you are interested in either the March Madness coaching deal or the March Madness guided meditation deal, please reach out and we will get you set up and get you on the calendar so that you can be your highest and best self, your most authentic self, your most happiest self, your most awesomeness self after your sessions are over. All right. So, thank you so much. Again, that's readready.com. And I'm going to actually put this in the chat box. Chat box. Oh my gosh. I am really speaking crazy. So, I just put that in, you guys. So, March Madness deals. Get on them before the 31st. All right. And so that's what we're talking about. And since I don't have a sponsor this week, but remember, if you would like to be a sponsor, come on and contact me. So, just to kind of finish up the conversation. So, what else can you do? So, again, it's about keeping your clients focused on the present. You can do activities to do that by sure. Another activity that you can do with your clients is writing down. You know, First, write down what are all the things that's concerning you right now. You know, um, Then have them on the next side of the list. What are the things that you could do about each one of these concerns? Let's write it out. Let's think about what can you do. What would you like to do? What would be the most ideal situation if you had a magic wand? What would that situation look like? Like you can do all of these types of activities to help your clients brainstorm ideas on, okay, how do I want to approach this stress, this fear, this concern, this whatever it is I'm experiencing due to life, right? Um, like I said already, challenge beliefs, challenge thoughts, challenge, you know, thinking. We're not challenging their values. We're not arguing how they feel. We're not telling our clients they shouldn't feel that way or, stop thinking about it or just think positive. Yes, we should have a positive disposition throughout the whole coaching session and encourage a positive perception, but as soon as you tell your client, yeah, think positive, yeah, you just put the seed in their brain to get an overdrive of saying, yeah, I can't think positive right now. It's the same thing when I had a client who wanted to start a diet, right? And they were like, as soon as we came up with the goal of how I'm going to approach losing weight, I started getting more hungry. I wanted to eat more. I became lethargic and I didn't want to exercise and I didn't want to do anything that was on my list in my strategy plan to do. And it's funny because again, that's how the mind can work sometime, is that psychologically speaking, as soon as you plant, yeah, just do this, the mind goes, yeah, we're gonna do the total opposite. I don't care what you're thinking, but this is what we're gonna do. Um, I would also say, ask the tough questions. That's part of challenging. Ask the tough questions to your client. Um, and even being transparent about how you're feeling may help. You like, it's like I can really understand how that you're feeling because it made me a little nervous when I heard X or when I experienced X too, but there are things that you can do, you know, and then go down the line of being solution focused, not problem focused. So keep the conversation, keep the questions, keep the sessions on a note of being a solution, finding a solution, and allowing your client to come up with ways that they're going to feel good for themselves. Because at the end of the day, they have to make the decision to what they want to do to feel better, to alleviate stress, to to minimize the angst that they're feeling. And so as a coach, that's kind of the role. That's kind of what you're meant to do, is to really keep your clients focused on the present and letting them identify resources that will help them move past what they're feeling. And I try my best to have books and articles and all kinds of resources available, so that when I'm talking to a client, I have my little, I call bag of goodies, or my treasure trove of tools and resources, information, to say, hey, check this out, see if it helps. Hey, I have this great resource. If you're interested, if you have time, you might want to check it out and see how it makes you feel. I try to keep video links, available, and I send that to my clients, different meditation techniques and all sorts of stuff, because the idea is that as a coach, we can be a resource. We are part of our clients' support system. We're there to help them help themselves. I'm trying to look because I had a lot of notes that I took on this, and I'm looking at some of my notes that I wrote down. Um, and I think I actually covered a lot of what I really wanted to present to you. So, yes, as coaches, we're in a great position to really help our clients manage stress, manage angst, and manage fear, and to help them stay mindful and aware of reality, and to remember that our clients may be really in their head, deep in their head. And I always say problems are always bigger in our head than they are in reality. And I'm even saying dire, crazy, walking dead, apocalyptic type of problems that nobody would want to be in. But even that, as bad as that situation would be, it's still bigger in your mind than it is in reality. And another thing that we have to remember and that we have to remind our clients is that there's always a solution and we all adapt. The human body, the human mind, we adapt, we evolve. So even if a situation is shitty, you will learn how to deal with the shit. That's just how it is. That's we're meant to adapt. We're meant to survive because that's who we are. And we have to remind our clients you're going to survive whatever situation you're experiencing right now. It's going to be okay. It will turn around. And the stronger the support system that you can build, the better the outcome is going to be for you. And I think that if we can do these things with our clients, we will definitely be a great benefit. We'll be able to use coaching in a very innovative and significant, impactful way to help our clients learn and grow and feel centered and understand that they are powerful and that they can get over whatever it is that's causing them the angst and the fear. All right, everybody. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please feel free to share my podcast. I'm definitely trying to grow and build and make it an amazing platform for you, for me, for clients. I want you guys to succeed. Every new coach, every aspiring coach, I really want you to succeed. And so I really do hope that you will share, that you will comment, that you will talk, that you will download, that you will listen, and if you have questions, please feel free to ask them. And just to let you guys know, in about 15 minutes, I will be starting Real Talk for Wifepreneurs and Mom Moguls. So feel free to log on there. And I'll see you over there on that side where we will talk about things important to boss ladies and all of you wonderful solo entrepreneurs. All right, everybody, take care. I love you. Be blessed. Go out there and create awesome sauce for yourself and for others.